Good afternoon. It is Friday, December 26th, 2025. I am standing on Skyline Parkway, 2 or 3 blocks west of 28th Avenue West. Continuing with the Monitors project of visiting all the parks in the city, from smallest to largest. We started at park number 162, and we have now worked our way up to park number 5. At 507.95 acres, it is Piedmont Park. Quite a large park. It also extends below Skyline to some degree. You can see Anger Tower over there. And today I'm going to walk up this mountain bike trail. Skyline. That's a new little piece added to the top of the post there. The Skyline Mountain Bike Trail adopted by Alecaf Coffee Companies, Roasters. And this says Valley Girls Trail. Oh, I see. Yeah, so there's a little... The Valley Girls, there's a black diamond section, which comes down through from there. But this, what we're on here, is more gradual and intended for general usage. It's pretty packed down, but you can feel it getting soft on the top since the weather is warm, above freezing. A lot of switchbacks here at the beginning to climb up the hill, so everybody can enjoy listening to my respiration system. There are many entry points to Piedmont Park. The main one is probably Hutchinson Road. There's a parking area there that leads directly into the Nordic ski trails. That's probably the busiest. Then on Haynes Road, on the western side, there's another parking area. That one's pretty well used too. More mountain bikers and hikers go to that one. And then you have these various trails coming down that you can access off of Skyline. So this park has every kind of trail in it except for horse trails. I don't think they're here. Hiking, mountain biking, Nordic, and there's a snowmobile trail that comes through here as well. It's about the farthest the snowmobile trail system penetrates into the city. And I believe we'll see that up near the top here. This Piedmont Park should not be confused with the other Piedmont Park. Number 55 on the list, which is only about 9 acres. That smaller one is where the community center is, ice rinks, softball field, things like that. They're both called Piedmont Park though. And one creek flows through. Merritt Creek kind of bisects the whole 500-acre parcel and flows down, passes underneath Skyline Parkway, and continues on down to, let's see if we can even see over there, Wheeler Field. You can just barely see it. We'll get a better look once we get up there. A gray and gloomy day today. Kind of the norm for winter around here, where bright sunny days are the exception rather than the rule. A little bit grayer and gloomier than usual though. It's almost like fog. You can see out that way. It looks like it's almost foggy, lowering down. You see here, people cross-cut these. The way mountain bike trails are, they zigzag back and forth so much. People tend to inevitably cross-cut to cut the corners. One reason that trails are built through natural areas is to concentrate use. So if there's some natural area where a lot of people visit with no official trails, there's just trails that go everywhere, braiding through the woods and, you know, damaging the resource more than if you just put a single trail in and then everybody uses that. It concentrates all the use and cuts down on that braiding effect, the multiple trail effect. But that reason doesn't apply to mountain bike trails. Mountain bike trails aren't built for that reason at all, to concentrate use. They're just built to give people a fun ride. And that involves lots of zigzagging. So the effect of that creates more of those social trails, those crosscuts. So instead of concentrating use, it makes more trails Just a little observation. You see here, more cross-cutting. I mean, this whole area, people go straight down, cross-cut. All the zigzags. In the summer, you can see it. The extra trails. And getting higher. I hope nobody tuned in waiting for scintillating commentary. I almost forget I'm recording here. So quite a number of trails come together around here. That's the Superior Hiking Trail. That continues up that way. That's a nice overlook up there. You can see a bit of a jump or something for mountain bikes. A whole bunch of mountain bike trails come together up over the little rise there. And you can continue from there up toward the Hutchinson Road parking area. But I'm going to go this way. This is probably that Black Diamond trail that crosses here. Yeah, I see the sign. So the Valley Girls Black Diamond Trail, the one that we saw at the bottom, goes off that way, goes down over some more challenging terrain. Looks like there's another one, DM Black Diamond, goes off that way. I don't know, they're not made for hiking at all. They built the mountain bike trails with the stated purpose that they're multi-use trails. Then they took the opportunity to build a bunch of Black Diamond, which are really only for mountain bikes. You can get a bit of a glimpse of the Piedmont Park here. By no means all of it, just a little bit of the nearer section. It's really quite a big area. You could get lost out here. I think people have gotten lost out here. Superior Hiking Trail is well beaten down. We had all that snow about a month ago, early for snow, end of November, beginning of December. Almost felt like a heavy snow winter was setting in, but then it just kind of stopped. Haven't had much since. So all these trails are now pretty well packed in. Makes it a lot easier going. Oh, nice view of the St. Louis River waterfront here. I did not buy snow tires this year. For years, I've had snow tires, but well, financially, it wasn't really feasible this year. But I also was thinking, you know, there's only really like 3 or 4 times in a winter when you really need the snow tires. The rest of the time, it's kind of like this. The roads are bare. I'm trying to figure out, that must be the Valley Girls Trail right there. I just see this type of trail. Yeah, that must be the Black Diamond. I don't think that's the one we just walked up. Yeah, so 3 or 4 times a winter you might need the snow tires. I just bought a new set of regular radials, which is considerably cheaper than snow tires, and seems fine. New radials are pretty good for most conditions. 3 or 4 times a winter, if I wish I had snow tires instead, I can manage. I just think, what did they do? What did they do 100 years ago, riding around in their Model Ts and stuff? Must have been a nightmare. I'm sure brand new modern radials will do the job just fine. Opens out here. This is a nice overlook too. You can see Lincoln Park Middle School directly below us there. Anger Tower over there, and the lift bridge has come into view. Down below there you can see the overlook off a skyline known as the Wall. A few people parked there today. Spirit Mountain over there in the distance. That nearer bluff there is Brewers Park, which we did a few weeks ago. Hiked that one in one of the snowstorms we were having about a month ago. So you can see here, snowmobiles can actually get here, and this is about as far into the city as they can make it, which is actually pretty far. You wouldn't really automatically think of that, at least I wouldn't, that they could get this far into the city and then way up here like this. But there's a snowmobile track that comes in from that way there. Follows the power lines. And there's a big power line that I've mentioned many times, that because it passes through so many different parks, that one power line comes from Jay Cook Park and passes through easily half a dozen of Duluth's parks, most of the bigger ones. Oh, I remember this spot. This one gets a little treacherous in the winter. You can take that trail to go down to that wall, the overlook. Somebody's hollering over there. Well, I was hoping to make it to Merritt Creek at least on the video. I'm getting kind of a long video here. Another slippery section. So all this here, this land I'm looking at to the west, is part of the Peterson Land Trust, it's called. Used to be part of it. The city bought that land, I don't know how long ago now, 7 or 8 years ago. And so all the trails in the Piedmont area had already been built. So that Peterson Land Trust land, it's about 40 acres, is the last remaining area in the Piedmont Park that doesn't have any trails in it, any official trails. Another overlook area or high spot here. You can see, well, maybe you can't. The power line pole is right. You can see one of them sticking up over there. It kind of bisects the whole parcel. So we're not even to the power line yet, and there's still an my video cut out for no reason. I was just commenting that on the other side of the power line is an equal amount of Piedmont Park. Get an idea of how big it is. Pretty big. And again, here, once again, looking at the Peterson Land Trust parcels, acres. So no trails down there, which is, you know, past this one. This is like the trail that comes closest to the Peterson land parcels. I don't know why my camera just cuts out at random moments when I'm videoing. I always have to keep an eye on it at meetings, especially. I do have my regular audio recorder going, so I'm not going to lose the recording, but it's so much nicer to see it on video. You can actually see who's talking instead of trying to remember listening to audio like, okay, there was 15 people at that meeting. Who is talking here? Lower burner of stovetop. They got the upper burner and the lower burner. Just their mountain bikey names. The upper burner is off on that side. Eventually all these trails have to cross Merritt Creek, so it doesn't really matter which one I take. And once I get there, my plan is to follow that back down to Skyline. I got my car's parked at the wall there. Definitely a warm day for this. I haven't had my hat on since probably the first 3 minutes. No gloves. Oh, I see. There's a bridge there, so that this right here, this drainage is, I assume, look at this, I'm cross-cutting instead of doing that. Pretty brush choked here. I think if I go a little further, there's an easier way to kind of go down it. I mean, I could just walk down the creek right here. Yeah, I'll probably break through. It's no big deal if I did break through on that. It's shallow and everything, but I just don't want to do a brush-choked creek walk at this moment. You can kind of see that there's a little ridge line there. That's what I'm aiming for. Follow that down. Yeah, okay, there's a bit of some intersections here, so one of these trails is going where I need to go. Looks like Cogs has some newer signs mounted on the older posts. Yeah, we'll just take this Fox Rocks over here a little ways. Feeling rain in the air here. A little light drizzle. If we could have this drizzle come down for a few hours and then have the temperature plummet into, say, -10 or -20, that'd be ideal. These drifts might get hard. I don't know, somewhere around here is where I usually go down the creek. I think I'll just walk off this way. Snow is not that deep. Okay, somebody else has been through here. Are those human tracks? It's hard to say. No, I don't think they are. Tons of deer come through here all the time. Wouldn't be surprised if I scare some up. Here's what buckthorn looks like when the leaves are off of it finally. Everywhere through here. Oh, here's Merritt Creek again, so. I think that over there is the way I was trying to get to. Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty sure if I can go over there, there's a deer trail that comes down, that goes down to Skyline. Look at the not very frozen creek. Sounds like I got off the bike trail right in time. Hear people passing by there. Yeah, that's not very frozen at all. Here's where the deer go. One of them broke through right there. Should have just stayed on that Fox Rocks trail just a little bit longer. I would have got up to that sort of level area. Some chaga, chunk of chaga. You can tell because it's a burst right there. Man, I gotta cross again to get up there. Well, hear it crack. Yeah. No problem. Look at all these deer tracks everywhere through here. This is where I was trying to get to. The Deer Highway. Look at that. The Deer Highway. See people's regular tracks on here too. This is not a regular trail, not an official trail. It's a deer trail. And lately, illegal mountain bike trail. Last time I came up here, when there wasn't snow, it was much more worn in from bikes. So Merritt Creek is basically flowing down through there. I've seen a fox up in this section a couple different times. Not like the most amazing wildlife sighting, but actually pretty cool to see a fox in the woods. Lots of deer, of course, which aren't that exciting. Okay, so I'm not sure where. This one is, I need it to be curving back here. Yeah, it's curving back. I frequently scare up deer in this section, as you can see by the tracks just everywhere. They're around. Alright, we're getting right off the skyline here. This is another good way to access the Piedmont Park area. These are not official trails, but they're deer trails and social trails. Oh. Also, this is one of the few places that there's even room to pull out on Skyline. So that's another plus for starting here. I'll just go show you Merritt Creek here. Well, not quite as picturesque in the winter. In the summer, there's a nice pretty waterfall and a little pool there. You can hear it under the ice. Alright, long video. Park number 5, Piedmont Park. Thanks for watching.